Hello, Eurovision friends. Thank you for coming to my channel, Eurovision Histories, for another chart update after Semi 1 and right before Semi 2. I wanted to look at the streaming charts, Apple Music, Spotify, and iTunes all over Europe and see which songs, especially from semi-final 1, did really well. If I asked you which ones are charting at the moment, you might say Sweden, you might say Estonia, maybe one of the pop songs like the Netherlands or Norway. But there's one that I didn't expect to do so well. I'm very happy it does, but maybe you also didn't expect it, and I want to talk about that in a second and show you. So when we look at the most streamed entries overall, not that much has happened since my last video. Bara Bara Bastu now at 42 million, Volevo Essere un Duro still at 39 million, C'est la vie at 16, increasing 1, Tutta l'Italia at 15, and Essa Diva at 14 million streams, but Espresso Macchiato is right behind it, and you will see why now when we go to the charts. I'm going to start with Apple Music, and you can see the two songs that maybe you expected would do well on the charts after Semi 1 are actually Kai, Bara Bara Bastu, and Tommy Cash with Espresso Macchiato. So Kai is number 1 in Sweden and Finland, 2 in Norway and Estonia, number 4 in Lithuania, so doing really well in the Nordics and the Baltics as well, in the host country Switzerland, where it's in 12th edition. We have it charting in Malta, in the Netherlands, in Latvia, Poland, Slovenia, Austria, Iceland, Luxembourg, Cyprus, and Denmark, so kind of all across the board, all over Europe, especially in Northern and Eastern Europe. I'm kind of discerning from what I'm seeing here, which makes sense, and this is an indicator that this might do really, really well in the televote as people are expecting. But Tommy Cash and Espresso Macchiato also doing really well. Number 1 in Estonia, number 2 in Lithuania, the neighboring country, number 5 in Malta, number 10 in Finland, 16 in Sweden. So again, the Nordics and the Baltics, but they love Eurovision especially much. So maybe that's why it's charting so much there, but also in Switzerland, in Norway, in the Netherlands, Poland, Cyprus, Slovenia. So again, Armenia, Iceland, Austria, even though Armenia and Austria weren't even in Semi 1 and maybe not that many people watched. So another indication that this one might do really well in the televote as well. It is really catchy, so that's probably why people are streaming it. The third one is the one that I was surprised about, positively surprised about. Lucio Corsi, Volevo Essere un Duro, is doing very well. We saw that the streaming numbers are very high, but that's normal for Sanremo entries, and most of the streams are from Italy. But now after the semi-performance, he is starting to chart also in Malta, Lithuania, Switzerland, Slovenia, Finland, Italy itself, Norway, Estonia, and Sweden. So I think adding the subtitles was a very smart idea. People get the message, people like the song, and this could be another indication that this could do much better than people are expecting. We will see that in iTunes and Spotify. It looks a bit different at the moment, but we will see that in a second. And then the two pop songs that I also kind of expected to go up after the semi, the Netherlands doing number 1 in the Netherlands. Very happy for him. Really a career booster, I hope, for him in the Netherlands, but also all over Europe, in Lithuania, Malta, Finland, Estonia, Norway, Switzerland, and Sweden. You notice some countries' names come up more than others because they like Eurovision more parts of the population watch Eurovision, so that's probably why that is. And Norway doing well in Norway, Finland. Wait, let me switch me off for a second so you see everything. Malta, Cyprus, Switzerland, and Sweden. By the way, I'm using the great website easytracker.com, so if you want to check the charts yourself, go there and you will see it. Then it's JJ and Wasted Love doing really, really well in a lot of countries already, even though the song has not been performed on TV yet, other than all the ones that we just saw. Number 9, so in the top 10 in Austria. Very happy for him about that. Then also doing well in Finland, Norway, Sweden, Malta, Switzerland, Lithuania, and Estonia. And Finland, same thing, has not been performed on TV yet. Second in Finland, right after Kai. Then also charting Norway, Malta, Sweden, Estonia, and Lithuania. So again, you see the countries that love Eurovision are appearing here. And they know already what the Finnish song is. I'm guessing that these two will go up a lot right after the semifinal tonight, so that will be interesting to see. I'm especially surprised about Wasted Love's good streaming numbers, because it's a song that also lives from the staging, I think. But people also love the song, as you can see. So that's a very good sign for Austria. Then San Marino, I don't think we've ever seen a San Marinese entry do so well, but it's kind of an Italian entry also. Malta, Switzerland, Lithuania doing well still in Italy, probably still from Sanremo more than from Eurovision, then Finland and Estonia as well. Sissel is doing well in a lot of countries, and she still has to qualify. The thing is that only, let's see, Finland and Lithuania and Malta. Well, actually, she has 3 countries that could vote for her, so maybe that's a good sign for her as well. We shall see what happens tonight. Napa and Deslocado was the big surprise qualifier in semi-final 1, but they are doing well in Portugal, where they're number 1. Amazing for them. And then also in Lithuania, Luxembourg, lots of Portuguese people in Luxembourg, then in Finland and Malta as well. Then we have Yuval Rafael, also has not been performed, but already charting apart from Israel and Finland, Cyprus and Malta. We have Ziffernblatt as well, doing relatively well in Lithuania, Finland, Estonia, and Ukraine. And then the 2 I'm also happy about, the 3 actually, next ones. Baller already charting in a few places. Well, Lithuania, Finland, and Switzerland, but still also hasn't been performed yet. I'll be interested to see what happens, whether this is a song that people start really liking after the semi-performance tonight. Obviously, the semi-1 countries have a bit of an advantage because their song is already charting right now and the others are 2 days behind, but then they might have a bit of recency effect, but so maybe that balances each other out. Then France and Maman doing relatively well, is not charting in France yet, but in Finland, Switzerland, Norway, and Luxembourg. And this might be a hint that the charts are not all that important. Belgium is doing well in Belgium, Finland, Lithuania, and Estonia, but obviously we know that it didn't qualify. And Melody doing well in 2 countries, apart from Spain as well. Germ doing well. And the others, I think, are mostly in their own country and another. I like that Zoe May is doing so well in Switzerland. Miriana Conte, number 2 in Malta. And Catharsis, still number 1 in Lithuania. And the others are just outliers, I think, having, for example, Cha-Cha-Cha's still chart, or the Rue Bonfire in Montserrat, that's still there. I think that's kind of a leftover. Maybe Montserrat doesn't have Apple Music anymore or something. Then we go to Spotify next. And as you can see, a similar picture here, though Italy is not in the first 5, but we have Tommy Cash and Kai kind of even here, charting in lots of countries. I'm not going to name them all. You can see them. Kai especially in Sweden, Finland, Iceland, Estonia, and Tommy Cash in Estonia, Iceland, Lithuania, and Finland. Though Kai's positions are a bit higher, so they're actually charting higher in the same amount of countries as Tommy Cash. So another indication that these 2 might go for the televote win. Claude doing really well still in lots of countries. And this was very surprising to me. Baller already charting in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 countries, including Germany. So that might hopefully be an indication that we are not coming last this year, I hope. Then Kyle and Leider doing well here too. JJ once again doing well, even though the song hasn't been performed. Erika Wickman as well. Melody doing relatively well. And Kerrie also charting still in a few countries, Iceland, Finland, and Estonia. He will perform in the final, maybe together with Baby Lasagna, so he should go up again as well. And the others are mostly charting in their own country and one other, usually Iceland. You can really see how much into Eurovision Iceland is. Yeah. Every single one is their own country and Iceland. So I really want to move to Iceland. It must be great to be a Eurovision fan there. And then iTunes, I don't think it's that popular in all that many countries anymore, but you see Tommy Cash and Kai leading here again, especially surprised that Kai is already 22nd in Germany, 37th in the UK, 50th in Italy, so very big markets there for them. And Tommy Cash is also charting in Italy, which I find quite funny. So lots of Italians also like the entries. Number 2 in the Netherlands, number 5 in Sweden, 7 in Poland, 7 in Finland. Quite impressive. And Kai doing well, apart from the Nordics, also in Belgium, Switzerland, Netherlands. So really impressed. But then Loreen is already number 3, ahead of all the other songs from this year. So this has really become a classic, especially on iTunes, it seems. Then Yuval Raphael and New Day Will Rise, even though the song hasn't been performed yet, doing well in Sweden in the top 10, in Cyprus, Switzerland, France, a big market, Germany, big market, and Israel itself. Then we have Claude and C'est la Vie, number 1 again in the Netherlands, which I'm very happy about, in the top 10 in Belgium and Switzerland, and also doing well in Germany. Then we have Gabri Ponte, Tutta l'Italia, so another indication that this song might do quite well in the televote, even though San Marino doesn't have a history of doing that well. Melody is charting relatively well, again in Spain and Norway in the top 10. Norway is a great achievement for her, and Switzerland 23rd, Italy 53rd. And there you see Lucio Corsi a bit lower, but still doing well in Lithuania, Switzerland and Austria, apart from Italy. And Kyle Alessandro is after that. And then we have Maman and the others. Is there anything noteworthy? Red Sebastian being number 1 in Belgium, very happy for him. Zoe being number 1 in Switzerland, also happy for her. JJ doing well in Austria, and Napa again number 1 in Portugal. So Eurovision is really a great place to promote your music, even if you might not get the best result like Red Sebastian, who didn't qualify, obviously. Gaia is number 2 in Poland, and the rest, Balla, well, could do a bit better. We shall see what happens after the semi tonight. Caddy is still number 3 in Finland on iTunes. Maybe that hasn't updated. And the girls from Remember Monday are 13th in the UK, which is not easy to do. Maybe some UK fans and fans from other countries too can tell me how popular iTunes still is there and how much that's an indication of success. We'll have a few of the 2020 songs that didn't get to perform because of the pandemic perform tonight at the semi, so maybe they will chart again. And I'll do another chart update maybe on Friday or Saturday after semi 2. It will be interesting to see which countries and entries and songs, especially obviously, chart best all over Europe. And maybe that's an indication how well they will do, especially in the televote. Thank you for coming to my channel. Do subscribe if you don't want to miss any of my videos. And I'll see you in my next one. See you then, and bye-bye.